Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I'm Syed Muhammad Younus Qadri, Assistant Professor of Economics, Government Premier College 2. This is my third lecture, which is the theory of supply. In the previous two lectures, I have given you the definition of economics by Smith, Robbins, Marshall, and then briefly described the theory of demand with the schedule and diagram. Theory of supply. So when it is related to producer, who is the producer? Producer is the one who produce the commodity for what? Produce the commodity for profit maximization. Main goal is to produce the thing for the profit maximization. Whenever he produce any commodity, what should he will do? Immediately when the production took place, for example, 1000 pieces of mobile was produced by this company in this month. Whenever he produces 1000 mobiles, he will put that mobile in the stock. Before selling this product, whenever the manufacturing took place, they will put that commodity into stock. What is a stock? The stock is the commodity which the producer will gather in certain store for sale. It is not for sale, but in future the producer will sell the commodity out of that stock. So in this stock, he do not mention the price of that commodity, do not put the tag on the price of that commodity. That is the laptop they are producing. So when this laptop is there, they do not tag the price of that commodity. Price is not there. The cost of production is there. It has been produced for $1,000, for $1,000, or $800, or $500. So that is the cost. Now with the cost and with the profit and cost, he will determine that the certain product should be sell in the market. So for the before selling the product, he will do what? He will put the price of that commodity. That commodity should be sold for $1,200. 1,000 is the cost of that sell, and now they will sell that commodity. Apple will sell that commodity. The price, so we mention the price of that commodity of $1,200. Now, when this price is being tagged on the commodity, that is ready for supply. That commodity is ready for supply. So there is a difference between the supply and the stock. Stock is the one. Stock is the producer will stock the commodity before tagging the price, before mentioning the price. If the same product from the stock is ready for the market to be sold, then the producer will tag it for prices. So the supply is related to price, and stock is not related to price. So its stock is not for sale. The product which is on the store for future sale, not ready for the sale right now. Some of the part will be sold according to their demand or other things. they will, according to their decision, how much the supply will take place from out of that stock. So whenever the production takes place, it will first go to the stock, and then a certain part of that stock will be ready for the supply in the market. The supply is the one which is related to the prices, like the demand. Demand is also related to the prices. Now supply, what is, if you are a producer and your goal is to maximize the profit, so what will be your behavior if the prices of that is $1,200? See, so what will happen if the price that commodity sold in the market for $1,200? If due to this coronavirus the sale is the demand is very low, or due to some other reasons the price they are able to sold 100 pieces for that commodity. Within this 1200 they sold the 100 pieces for that commodity, for that prices. Now what is happening, or supply 100 pieces of that commodity in the market. Now due to this coronavirus the prices of each and every commodity is decreasing. It decreases to, for example, to $800. So what will be your decisions? Decision of the producer for the profit maximization is that it will immediately reduces the profit, reduces the supply to, for example, to 1,000, 100 million or 80 million, you can say, or 80 or 100, anything is that. So once the prices goes down from 1200 to 800, the supply will also goes down, and then it will goes down the further the prices are decreasing, and it will also decrease its supply, and further the price will decreases to $200, further decreases its prices to $40, and so on and so forth. So for the supply, if you are a producer, supply certain commodity in the market, your relation is that when the price of commodity X increases, your supply will also increase. If the price of commodity X decreases, your supply of commodity X will also decrease. So there is a positive relationship between the supply and the prices. Price and supply has a positive relationship. So what is the theory of that? Demand is that if the prices increases, supply increases. If the prices decreases, supply will also decreases. I have told you earlier that whenever you are making or saying some statement, that is the statement, then there is assumptions behind it. What is the assumption behind it? Like in the theory of supply, not at all the demand, it is the supply. So other things, what is those things? Like in demand, we keep the other things constant. keep other things constant. Keep the other things constant. So what are those other things? What are those other things? Like demand, other things. What are those other things? Usually for the production, the other things are the cost of production. For short, COP. COP, cost of production, means everything: wages, interest, rent, taxes, whatever is the part, transportation, cost of transportation, the other raw material costs are the part of the cost of production. Whatever is things are required in the cost is the cost of production. So these factors, if we keep constant, the other things might be they are calling that it is the managerial decisions. The managerial decision is good and bad decision, two types of decisions. The other things are there. So these other things will keep constant, then the supply is positive related to the prices, and these other things are the cost of production. These the cost of production included wages, interest, the other cost of raw material, taxes, advertisement cost, and so on and so forth is the cost of production. These are the other things remains constant. Then the supply has a positive relationship with the prices. And now what are the effects of the other things, that is cost of production to the supply? If the cost of production increases, supply will decrease. If the cost of production decreases, supply will also decrease. Also, the manager, if the managers take a good decision, the supply will increase. If they took the bad decisions, the supply will decrease. That is the same as that of the demand curve. Now we'll go to the schedule and diagram, and which is very easy, like in the case of the demand curve, we will take price of X and the supply of X. That is the schedule. We are making the schedule of that any commodity. If the price of X is 0, maximum supply is 100, or if the price goes to 10, supply also goes up. Instead of 200, if the supply goes up to 30, it will be 300. If the price goes up to 40, it will be 400. If the price goes up to 50, it will be 500. So on. It shows that there is a positive relationship. Price increases, price is increasing from 10 to 20, 30, the supply is also increasing, and that's very easy to make a diagram out of it. You can make a diagram out of it by using the axis. That is, it is the simple it is it. This one is the y-axis, which is the price of x, and in the x-axis we have the supply. Supply, as according to schedule, is starting from 100, and price is 50. The difference is 10, 10, 100, 20. So we should have to make a graph like that. That is a same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. Price is 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. When the price is 10, what will be the schedule? When the price is 10, the supply is 20. When the price is 10, supply is 200. When price is 30, the supply is 300. When price is 40, the supply is 400. The price is 50. When I told you how to make a graph out of anything. How can you make a graph out of anything is simple. Simple as it is. You join all the points, and that is the supply curve. Supply curve is a positive curve. Why it is a positive curve? Because both the axes are moving in the same direction, increasing, and then that is also increased. That is the positive slope supply curve. It shows that the price is increasing, the supply is also increasing. So that is demand is a negatively sloped demand curve. So this is the supply curve. Now the point is that when the price is increasing or decreasing, we are moving along the curve from point A to B, C, D, E. So that is called the moving along the curve. The price effect for the supply is moving along the curve. What about the other things? What about the other things? How can we show that the other things will affect the supply curve? How can we show it in the graph? This is our graph of supply, and you should, whenever you are making the graph, you should have to mention what is those x's are. In the x-axis we take supply, in the y-axis we take price. If you do not use that thing, price of x, and then that this is nothing. So you should have to mention the axis, what is in the axis. Then it is, if supply is a positive related curve. Supply is a positive related curve. It is that. If the price increasing, you are moving from point A, point B, point C, and point D. Now, if the cost of production due to the you can say the cost is increasing due to the cost is now the wages is increasing. If the wages are increasing, cost of production is also increases. Then what will happen to the supply curve? Cost of production, if increases, supply will decrease. Whenever I told you, whenever a supply will decrease, how can we show cost? Because in the axis supply and price is there, how can you show the cost of production? Other things will shift the demand curve from, this is the D1 demand curve, and either in the rightward or in the leftward. no down or up, no. The right shows increasing in supply, the right movement. The right movement shows increasing in supply. Supply will increase, right shifting. Left shifting, always remember, both in demand and supply, decreasing. So cost of production when increases, it will decrease. So the curve will move towards left. This is the movement. It is due to the increases in cost of production. Now, if the cost of production decreases, the supply curve will move towards right. If the manager takes the good decision, it will increase the supply. So the supply curve, it is the supply, not demand curve. The supply curve will move towards S2, and this is S3, towards S2. If the supply, if the managerial took the bad decision in this coronavirus, it took the decisions which is not conducive for that, then what will happen? Its supply will decrease. So that is what the supply curve is all about. The total supply, other things remains constant, and you can do it. Explain the supply curve. Questions come in the explain the supply curve. Explain the supply curve with schedule and diagram. The type of question will come in the examination, stereotype of question. I told you, you are lucky enough. These type of, if you go the 5-year paper, find out what type of questions are coming. We'll not bother to change those questions, or we are not dare to change those questions. And in these coronavirus, I think we will stick to the very easy questions so that the students can qualify the exam very easily. That is one of the very easy questions. Explain the supply. It's a long question, not at all a short question. The short question, this question will come difference between the supply and the difference between the stock and supply. What is the difference between the stock and supply? This is what the theory of supply is all about. What is the difference between the supply? What is the difference between the stock and supply? That is the short question. In the long question, the explain the supply curve with the help of the schedule and diagram, and also the shifting of the supply curves. What factor shifts the supply curve? This type of question, stereotype, very straightforward question will come. I've told you in the examination, that is the mistake in the examination. It will require too much writing. You have to first, what you will do, you have to theory, you will start from there. If the price of any commodity increases, supply will increases, price decreases, other things remains constants. Those other things are the factors of productions. Those other things are, what are those other things? Cost of production. Other things are cost of production and managerial decision and other things. If these are kept constant, the supply will have a positive relationship with the prices. Cost of production, if the price remains constant, have a negative relationship with the supply, and producer managerial decision have the positive relationship with the price if the other things, that is price and cost of production, remains constant. So the one at a time we should have to change one thing, not all the things, because we are making the two-dimensional curve. So keeping the ceteris paribus. is called in the classical economics. That type of word is there, but not using today. So that is what is very easy. Now we should have to go to the market in the next, how to determine the equilibrium prices in the market. In the market, then we should have to go to the market, and then we will determine the equilibrium price level in the market. Thank you. Wassalam, Syed Younus Qadri.